Hi everyone, welcome to Preparation Skills for University, or Prep Skills. My name's Jenny McDougall. I'm the course coordinator for this term. That means I'm the one who's overseeing the whole of this course or subject. And I do want to extend you a very warm welcome. This is your starting point for your STEPS journey, so obviously it's very important. And we know that there's a lot of information that you have to take in all at once. It can be a bit overwhelming. So hopefully even at the end of this video you'll be starting to feel a bit more reassured about what you have to do and how to get started. Because often getting started is actually the hardest part of the whole process. So basically you'll be interested to know what you need for this particular subject. There are two books that you'll need to order from the CQ University bookshop. One is the hard copy study guide and the other is the commercial textbook by Stella Cottrell, the Study Skills Handbook, the 4th edition. So if you go to that online bookshop and put in the course code for SKIL 40025, then you should see those resources come up. You can access the study guide online, but it really makes a lot more sense to have a hard copy. You'll end up printing out the modules if you don't actually buy the study guide, so you might as well save yourself a lot of time and energy and just buy the study guide as a book. Now this is really going to be where you make a start. It is, as the name suggests, your guide to your study. And in the first module, what we do is a very general introduction, not just to this subject, prep skills, but actually to the whole of STEPS and some of the key things that you need to know about sites you need to be able to access and all that sort of thing. So working through module 1 of the study guide is going to set you up really nicely. Now, as you go through the study guide, you'll realise there are certain activities that you are asked to do and it will require writing. So think about where you are going to record your answers, whether it's in a book or some sort of a hard copy folder, or whether you want to do it all on the computer, whatever suits you and you know, this kind of study that you are doing and prefer to do, just so long as you can keep it all together. One thing that's a bit different about this subject, for some of your other subjects, you're asked to submit all of your module activities for the end of each week, and you do that on a weekly basis. We don't do that in prep skills. We expect people to complete all those module activities, but they will then help you complete those set pieces of assessment. So we don't need to receive your module activities each week. If you want to know more about assessment, then I would suggest you go to the course profile, and that's something that you really need to access for each of your courses. It's an overview of the whole subject. It lets you know week by week what it is that you should be doing, the topics you'll be studying, when there's a midterm break, for example. That's really important. And also it has details about assessment tasks and when they're due. So one of the first things I do is find that and then mark them on a calendar somewhere or in a diary, so you know exactly what's coming up and when. So there's lots of different ways that you can access the course profile, but I'll show you where you can find it from the Moodle site. The Moodle site is, Moodle is our online learning management system that we use here at CQU, and you'll hear a lot about Moodle. It's a bit of a funny name, but you'll soon get used to it and it'll soon be very familiar to you. There are two other guides that we refer to in this subject. One is the Getting Started with CQ University Systems guide, and the other one is the STEPS guide for students. Now these actually are not just for prep skills, they're for all of your STEPS experience, but because in this subject we're trying to help you get oriented, help you settle in, we do refer to these quite a lot. So you would have received these to your personal email account, so look out for that. I can also show you where you can find them from the Moodle site. So the Getting Started guide is all about helping you find your way around the online systems. As you'll appreciate, a lot of what we do is online. And so you really, will have a lot of questions at first, but you'll find that this will step you through even something like how how to download your course profile. It just steps you through in a really easy to understand way, so make sure that you print this out and just have it right beside you every step of the way at the start. The other guide is the STEPS guide for students, and this is more general information about the STEPS program, a bit like a handbook. It has information about each of the courses that you can study here in the STEPS program, some of the policies and procedures that we follow here. So that one is also important, and we do refer to it in Prep Skills, especially at the start. So look, let's take you to Moodle. That's the online site that we keep talking about. There will be a particular site for each of the courses that you're studying, and this is what the one for Prep Skills looks like. They're all similar. There are certain cosmetic differences, but a lot of it is set out the same. There are these module topics here. That's pretty typical for most sites, Moodle sites. If we go to this Getting Started tab here, this is going to cover much of the information that I'm going through with you now. And then you have your topics. There's one topic per week, so it's easy to keep up, and it's a really good way of knowing what's what. You just know that week 1 is module 1, week 2 is module 2, and so on. So look, you're probably wondering exactly why you will need Moodle when you have these great hard copy resources. Well, Moodle provides you with extra resources. This is where you'll go to access videos like this one. It's where you'll go to access the lecture videos that we put up for each topic, for each week. It's also where you can talk to other students via the discussion forums, and especially as a distance student, that's a really great way of connecting to other people and feeling like you're part of a learning community. So at the moment there's an introductions forum there if you'd like to introduce yourself to other students, get a sense for who else is doing the subject with you. And also there's a link there for a study groups forum if you'd like to reach out to other students and perhaps form some sort of a study group so that this is more of a shared experience. Now you'll see that there's an information block, and that's where you can access the course profile that I talked about earlier. This is also where you'll find important information about assessment to supplement what was in the course profile. This is a bit more detail about the assessment tasks, and it's also where you'll go to complete quizzes and to upload written pieces of assessment. At this stage, try not to worry too much about assessment, other than knowing what is due and when, but we will talk you through each of those assessment tasks when the time is nearer, so you don't have to worry too much about the detail of that just yet. Now the study materials block is important. You can find an online version of the study guide there, so that's a good backup. There's a Cottrell page conversion table. That's if you happen to have an older version of the Cottrell textbook, the 2nd or 3rd edition, you can still use that, and that particular table shows you how those page numbers convert so that you can make sense of the study guide. And you can also access those 2 guides that I talked about earlier, the Getting Started guide and the STEPS guide for students can be accessed there as well. So look, it's a really good place to start is to just click on the Moodle site and click around the websites. You can't break anything by clicking on the tabs, and then you'll find that you'll quickly get into the swing of things and become much more familiar with how you find all the different aspects to your study experience. There is a lot at first, but it does get easier. And look, rest assured there's lots of help available to you. I'm only ever a phone call or an email away, and you will also be designated a support lecturer, and same goes for those people. They will only be too happy to help you if you have any questions. So I really hope this gets you off to a solid start in your studies, and that you really enjoy your studies with Prep Skills. All the very best for your first term of study in STEPS. Bye for now.